Welcome back. This is still the blossoms of the savannah, and we're still looking at characters and characterization. Previously, we looked successfully on the 2 hour up to 3 characters, our previous 2 videos that we recently uploaded. And in case you're coming across this work and you're wondering what has been happening, we are looking at the blossoms, and this is as we are projecting or looking forward for this November coming exams. And quickly, we are looking at the character and the character traits of the major minor characters in the text. We looked at the protagonist Resian, and we're also looking at other major characters like Mama Jane Milano. We're looking at Taiyo, Olekulet, the father, and now we are looking at Mama Jane Milano. Mama Jane Milano, she's a wife to Kaelo and mother to Taiyo and Resian. She is meek, or we can say submissive. She says that she did not resist Kaelo's marriage, for traditions did not allow any resistance. She prays God to open her womb so that she can bear a son for Kaelo. That's found on page 29. When she is taken to her new house, she exclaims, "Father of all creation." When Taiyo requests her to allow Joseph Parmuat to come and coach her on traditional dances, she fears, saying that is your father's territory. She fears to broach the subject of circumcision of her daughters. She is disturbed by Resian when she, that is Resian, uses harsh words on Oloisudori. That is on page 94. She knows very little about her husband, for he is a man. She honors her husband's visitor and his friends. In fact, she burns rice as she is afraid of Kaelo after Oloisudori has just left. She is religious. Before embarking on their journey to Nasila, she leads in prayers. Kaelo first spotted her at a church service at Nasila. She is to join women in ancestral prayers and songs of praise, a prayer for exhorting God to open women's wombs so that she can bear a son for Kaelo. Cautious. She cautions Taiyo, in this particular case, Taiyo and Resian, against strangers who might take advantage of their unfamiliarity with Nasila. She wishes to care for her children, although she fears Nasila people for their intolerance. She is torn between her love for Nasila culture and that for her daughters, as well as her dutiful role of a faithful and obedient wife. That is why she takes the subject of FGM cautiously. She is loving. She loves and cares for her daughters. She is worried by the FGM that is to be conducted on them. That is on page 61. On learning that Oloisudori intends to marry one of her daughters, she cries with pain. Like a woman in labor, the story about selling Resian to Oloisudori highly hurts her. She is evasive or elusive. She avoids the girl's demand to be taken to university. Even when the girls make this request, she lingers. Mama Milano as a character is important in addressing the issue of women's subjugation by men in the patriarchal Ma community. The novelist uses her to demonstrate how women occupy a lowly position in the family. Dialogue and flashback as stylistic devices are used by the novelist through her. She is also used to address the issue of religion in the novel. She is traitorous. Her daughters expect her to voice their request to their strict father, but she disappoints them on their issue. The girls also expect the mother to side with them on the idea of FGM, so that they do not undergo the cut, but instead she supports their circumcision and keeps quiet about the arranged marriage of her daughters and Oloisudori, even when she notes the gender disparity and the girls' relentless desire to acquire university education. Agosimirel Kaelo. He is the younger brother to Kaelo, uncle to Taiyo and Resian, and brother-in-law to Mama Milano. 1. She is responsible. For 30 years, Presmeole Kaelo has been away, and during this time, Simirin has acted as the head of the Kaelo family. He ran all kinds of errands for his brother. He purchases livestock for him. He also sells cattle for him. He participates in the construction of Kaelo's two buildings. He always passes any critical information to him and keeps him updated on what is happening in Nasila. He is an apt example. Is when elders show displeasure in his monogamous state. He is ample and also peaceful. There had never been any rivalry between him and his brother ever since they were young. He has always accepted his position to be subordinate, even when he has 4 wives and 16 children, while his brother has only 1 wife and 2 children. He remains ample. When Ole Kaelo returns to Nasila, he humbly expects that the Kaelo will take up his role as the elder's brother. When Kaelo gets enraged after he, that is Imren, relays elders' concerns to him on their stand on polygamy, he does not argue with his brother. He is also hospitable. He jovially welcomes the Kaelos, his brother's family, back home from Nakuru, where they have stayed for about 30 years. She's very traditional. He is traditional and very much conservative. He represents his brother during ritual and practices such as girls' initiation, boys' circumcision, etc. The novelist uses Imren to show the positive aspects of the Ma culture. Humility, generosity, responsibility, and hospitality are emphasized. He makes it possible for Kaelo to have a smooth transition to Nasila before and during the migration. Yeyo Botor. She is the first wife of Simiren and aunt to Taiyo and Resian. She is accorded more roles in the family and has an obligation of leading the co-wives. In Simiren's house, she is the eldest wife of the 4 wives. She is conservative and also superstitious. She thinks of Resian as a mad girl when she speaks ill about the lazy Laringoi. She cannot bear an argument about female freedom and assertiveness. She believes Resian has a bad spirit because she is not circumcised. Yeyo Botor is used by the novelist to lay ground for polygamy in a Ma family. She is used to show cohesion in a traditional polygamous family. She is equally responsible. She introduces the other women to visitors. Sincere. When she finds Taiyo and Resian doing house chores, she genuinely praises them. Soin Oloisudori. He is a respected elder of Ilmolelian clan, a long-time friend to Ole Kaelo as well as his mentor. He is honest. He honestly tells Ole Kaelo how much corrupt Oloisudori is and warns him sarcastically against him. He advises Kaelo to be careful with Oloisudori, that is found on page 26. He also warns Kaelo against Oloisudori's immoral behavior by telling him to ensure that he keeps his daughters away from him. He is sarcastic. He uses sarcastic remarks on Kaelo, aiming at hurting him. Supeyo said scornfully, smile twisting his lips. That is on page 26. Emakererei, that is Minik Ene Goitoi. She is the doctor of veterinary science, manager of a big ranch, and a crusade against FGM. She is the mentor to Taiyo and Resian. She is the manager of a ranch and a veterinary expert. She is bold. Though she is hated by very much in Nasila, she champions freedom of females and crusades against FGM and early marriages. On page 64, she boldly tells Oloisudori that none of the girls will leave the ranch. That is on page 283. She looks boldly into Oloisudori's eyes. She visits Oloisupe's homestead to persuade him not to circumcise his daughter. She orders Oloisudori to leave the ranch for his own safety and the safety of his expensive machines. She refuses also to comply with his demand to be given either Resian or Taiyo. She is authoritative. She orders the driver to take delivery notes to the office. Resian observes that Dr. Minik Ngoitoi has an authoritative aura like a principal in a high school. She authoritatively makes it clear that Oloisudori and his group did not have a right to receive any invitation letter to the party. She advises Oloisudori to leave the ranch in an angry tone. She is generous and also termed as helpful. She helps Resian and Taiyo get admission letters to Egerton University. She gives Resian a house and a job in the ranch and saves Taiyo from her circumcises. She holds a party for the two girls before they go to the university. She is educated, equally liberated. Mama Milano says that she had gone to Makerere University in Uganda. She manages a vast ranch which requires a lot of expertise. She's loving and also warm. She holds Resian on her shoulders and speaks to her calmly. She chooses to address Nabaru instead of Resian directly. She develops a warm relationship with Resian. Very much convincing. She convinces Nabaru that FGM is wasteful rather, to females, and Nabaru changes her position towards FGM. That is on page 263. Cautious. The narrator comments about her cautious character when she calls the girls for the admission letters. Minik is important to the novel for she is the agent of education, female empowerment, and as well as a crusader of women freedom. Without her, the novelist cannot address the central issue of FGM in the novel. The last section of the novel takes place at the ranch, and therefore she contributes significantly to plot development. Another character in this particular novel is Edward Oloisudori Lonkia. Edward, he is a close friend to Kaelo and a jack of all trades. He is immoral. Superior wants Kaelo to keep his daughters away from him, terming him as a randy he-goat. His initial plan was to exhaust Kaelo, but on noticing the two girls, he changes his mind. That's on page 112. Resian certainly felt the fingers of his lifted hand graze the fullness of her breast, while in Kaelo's house, Oloisudori's eyes dropped from face to Resian's bosom. Kaelo is advised to keep off his daughters from him. He is cunning. He brings gifts to the girls without telling them that he is also paying their dowry. That's on page 179. He entices Resian and Taiyo's parents by taking them for a visit in his own homestead rather. Kaelo had even earlier reported to Oloisudori that girls are reporting at the university, but instead he plans to marry them. He ensnares Taiyo and Resian like antelopes. He schemes a plan of grabbing Resian to be his wife. He is corrupt. Superior states clearly that Oloisudori's corrupt nature is known by everybody in Nasila. Joseph refers to him as a monster. He also describes him as a shoddy figure and extortionist. He takes part in hunting elephants and rhinos. He is authoritative. He authoritatively asks where Kaelo is. He authoritatively states that Resian is his wife and that only death can part them. He is cynical and sarcastic. He tells Kaelo that he is interested in his girl. Resian and his friend is interested in Taiyo bluntly. He instructs that only Resian should cook for him and 3 guests. He tells Kaelo, I would like to relieve you of your 2 daughters. Is sadistic. When Resian tells him of he loves sadistically, Resian tells Oloisudori that he is stuck mad for thinking that he is her wife. In response to this, Oloisudori laughs softly. This shows that he derives pleasure from her displeasure. Oloisudori is essential in the novel for he helps in creation of the theme of materialism, greed. The author uses him to create irony as a stylistic device. Joseph Parmuat. He is a teacher in primary school and trainer of Taiyo and Resian on traditional dances. He is in love with Taiyo, but traditions restrain their relationship. Parmuat can be referred or can be considered as bold. He openly tells Taiyo and Resian that he will join them to fight FGM even when the environment is not friendly. He describes himself as a fish that had jumped out of water on verge of death. This is when his relationship with Taiyo inclines to intimacy. He is dependable. Mama Milano corrects Kaelo's thinking by informing him that Joseph is the finest and dependable young man of Nasila. She does not disappoint Taiyo's parents, or he does not disappoint Taiyo's parents. He is equally loving. On meeting Taiyo, he falls in love with her. He promises to visit her the following day, and also culture on traditional dance if allowed by Taiyo's father. Cautious. In dealing with Kaelo's two girls, he is cautious of Nasila's culture and respects his parents. He is alert so that with Taiyo they do not begin a clandestine relationship. He fears that the conditions of Intoi and Mengalana in the girls, he cautiously weighs whether to fall in love with Taiyo and break his cultural law. He is very much responsible. While dealing with Taiyo, he always ensures that Resian is available. He follows Kaelo closely to ensure that the old man was safe during the errands of pursuing his girls molesters rather. He helps in the rescue of Taiyo from her circumcises, although he dies by being speared to death in the process. He is intelligent and equally informed. He observes that Ma culture has already shed off some traditional practices like throwing out the dead and the dying to hyenas, abandoning very old and terminally ill people to animals. He observes how Nasila culture is violent once its sensibilities are violated. He is very much patriotic. Although there is a strong wave of marrying Taiyo who is uncircumcised, he sticks to his culture. He strongly feels that Nasila culture was the father and mother that nurtured. In this case, he views the culture as that which nourishes the members of the community. He resolves to decline her love for Taiyo. That is found on page 136. Good students, this also marks the end of this particular episode. Good. And I would prefer that you pause within the videos and go through these particular character traits one by one in a more reserved and gentle manner. And if possible, when you're sitting next to your notebook, jot some important crucial points that you'll want to put down, and especially that now you're looking forward to see for these particular November exams. And in case you've not subscribed and you're coming across this work for the first time, a thumbs up will do me good, a subscription will do me excellent, and also a sharing with your good friends, and especially for those ones who are also looking forward to sit for these exams. And I wish you the very, very best in your exams. Good day for now.